And for those of you who follow me, I apologize. My lives have been everywhere this week. Um, Folks, I was meandering on Twitter, which Twitter is a bunch of gibberish, but it does provide a really great real-time news feed for people like us. I would encourage you to have an account. You don't have to post anything unless you want to troll people. I would just listen and watch. Because people put up stuff there real time that you would not see otherwise. And what's going on now, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're replaying 2020 again for the next election. And hey, what's going on? Hold on, I didn't see who that was. Hey, Hillbilly, what's going on? And I actually spent a couple hours with the Ham Radio Club in town this morning. Good morning, Coffee. Just to get a feel what I need to do, books to buy, type of radio to get. That will be my next project. I've put it off long enough. Unfortunately, like you, I have only so much money and so much time, and there's a point where you can't really do anymore. Hey, Starlight, welcome. Canning today. Good deal. Yeah. Folks, Lucky Dame, I put a post last night. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek, saying, now they've overturned Roe v. Wade, and everyone suddenly forgot that there was a food shortage and diesel's $7. And she replied she's still dealing with people who think nothing will happen to them. You can't help that kind of denial. Hey, Stuart, good morning. Candy, welcome. Mimi, happy Saturday. So, by the way, if you have the time and the funds, I would recommend if you can get into a ham radio club or course. That's going to be my next project, so you'll see a bunch of videos as I learn how to do that. I don't know, I guess it keeps my mind fresh when I'm constantly trying to learn new stuff. These people are arguing in the car next to me, and they're really pissed off. Like, I don't know if I want to drive next to them right now. They'll start fighting and have a wreck right in front of me. They're not having a good Saturday at all. I don't know what that was about. Oof. It was a couple, too. It wasn't like somebody scolding their kid for being stupid. It was two grown-ass adults having a pretty heated argument. Anyway, that was distracting. Folks, they're already burning flags in a few cities. They're already, Jason, the Angry Prepper, already posted that they were going to do a night of rage in D.C. and New York, as if New York needs more problems. Folks, there's going to be a lot of instability. And what I find, now, for those of you who missed my last live, the Supreme Court made those final verdicts, and they are now on recess until October. So, that's going to be... Good morning. Who is that? Caribbean, welcome. So, yeah, and I apologize. My lives this week have been all over the map because my schedule's been all weird. And so I'm like, well, I have to do a live Saturday. Let me just throw this out there. I wasn't going to do one, and I found myself with an unexpected little opening. Folks, I've done videos on this topic a few times. Other channels have, Off the Wall has, Angry Prepper has, a lot of the ones we all follow. If you're going to travel this week and the next few weeks, right, because people are going on vacation, right? We want to go visit family. Call your family or any friends or even the hotel you're staying at and ask them, what's the situation? Ask to speak to the manager of the hotel who's on duty and ask him, what's the situation in the street? I heard there are protests. And get the layout from the hotel. A lot of hotels also, and the hotel, you know how you normally check in at 3 o'clock, right? 2 or 3 o'clock, depending on the hotel. You show up and you're there too early. Instead of driving around town with all your bags in your car, some hotels, many, will hold your bags for you. You check in early, knowing your room's not ready. And you, hey Nate, what's going on? I missed a few people in the chat. Loretta, hello Loretta. Have them hold your bags so your car looks empty. Okay, I do this a lot when I go to Houston, Dallas, or Austin, one of the bigger cities. I get there too early unless I'm just traveling with a small duffel bag, which is usually what I do. If I have more stuff, I'll go to the hotel I'm checking in at and say, can you guys hold my bag? Even if it's $20 for a holding fee, that's fine. Because now my car is empty. It's way less appealing if I don't have a bunch of bags in here. Right? A bunch of bags, your computer pack, whatever, that's just going to attract attention, especially if people are out there. Regardless of your stance on the Supreme Court, these folks, they're going to be folks on both sides who are going to use this as an opportunity to go and be ugly. They're going to go to victimize, they're going to go to burn shit down. All the little arsonists and rapists and muggers and punks that want to go out and normally can't are going to come out during the riots and randomly grab people and kick the crap out of them. Hey, Triple Threat, good morning. So when you're traveling, Triple Threat as a USCCA instructor can give a lot of valuable insights. Make sure you check your destination and learn the situation on the ground before you show up. Don't show up and you don't want to be the person who drives into a riot because you didn't do homework. Now, granted, a riot can pop up at any time, but at least if you do your due diligence, you've put the odds in your favor. To me, being in a preparedness mindset is a statistics game, right? And again, that's the engineer coming out of me. You do things to put the odds in your favor. You know, may the odds ever be in your favor. It was Three Fingers in Hunger Games, right? You know, yeah. That was a terrible whistle. God, I won't do that again. But anyway, put the odds in your favor, right? And it was a cheeky thing to say in the movie, but it's not untrue. So if you find yourself, you have to travel because it's summer, people want to see their families. Make sure, one, you check ahead, check with the hotel, make sure they're still hunky-dory, they didn't get shut down, and also make sure, ask them if they can hold your bags if you arrive early. If you do arrive early, you go to the hotel, check in, get your little card, swipe your credit card, whatever the hell you got to do, give them your bags, they'll lock them in the manager's office, and now if you have to drive around, hey Loretta, yeah, Whistling Pete failed quite epically. At least then you are not driving around with all your stuff in your vehicle. Another thing I've learned, hey Lucky, good morning. I was just talking to everybody about your comment that there's still people you're dealing with who are like, that'll never happen here. And we're all like, no, it will, it can. Like they learned nothing from 2020. Also, if you're changing jurisdictions with a firearms permit, make sure you check the jurisdiction. Now, obviously, within Texas, that's not an issue for me. I can go, I think, pretty much from here through Oklahoma, Arkansas, all the way to Georgia and Alabama and not have an issue. But if I go west, I can hit Arizona. If I hit California, I'll get thrown in jail. So you got to be careful when you travel. It doesn't hurt. I've actually went to Pittsburgh once and I was carrying, and I called the state troopers in Pennsylvania and said, hey, I have a Texas carry permit. Is there a mag restriction if I have a 12 gauge in a lockbox because I have a safe in my truck? The cop was more interested about the brand of safe I had in my F-150 than the fact that I was concealed carrying in Pennsylvania. He didn't care. He's like, no. He's like, we don't have a mag restriction. If you have a valid license in Texas, you're good here. So make sure you do the phone call. Don't just look at the websites because things change. Take the time to find the state troopers and just ask them, hey, what is the jurisdictional restriction? Hudson Valley, because he owns a business, he handles large quantities of money. He carries, but he can't carry in New York City, but he can carry everywhere else in New York State, which is just stupid. Because you'd think as a contractor he could do that, but no. So it's just the dumb, hey, bitter critter, the dumb is at a new level. And now the states are all scrambling because they just flipped a bunch of Second Amendment laws on people. But folks, this is the kind of stuff you want to do a little bit of homework on your next trip. Double check your bug out bags. Make sure they're weather and location appropriate, or your get home bag. So right now, you know, it's going to be 101 degrees in West Texas. I don't need the cold weather jacket I normally roll up in the back of the truck, but I might need a poncho or a emergency blanket so I don't get heat stroke. So, you know, you make sure you regularly go through your bag, if nothing else, to remove expired material, but also to make sure that what you have in there is appropriate for your trip. Let me see, what else could I think of here? Make sure you have a good first aid kit. So actually, in my door panel, I bought an off-the-shelf kit, and then I pulled everything out and put what I wanted in it. So, I mean, I got a really decent little kit here. I also have a tourniquet. I also have garbage. Oh, that's where that went. All right. Keep a tourniquet on the driver's side door. And one thing I would recommend, stage your tourniquet. Don't leave it. Don't leave it. Yeah, Lucky checks every season. Yeah. At minimum every 6 months. Every season's better. Stage your tourniquet so it's open and it's ready to be used. Because if it's in the plastic bag, right, and you're trying to, and really this tourniquet's for me. Like if I get shot or I get cut, I can use it for someone else as well. Oh, I can't get it back in its little spot. But make sure, hey, Red Leg, what's going on? Who else did I miss in here? And I think I said hi to everyone. If I missed anyone, my apologies. Make sure that you've got a first aid kit, and I keep it in my driver's side door. Because if I get hurt in a riot or somebody gets hurt and I'm driving away, it's right here. I literally, if someone's hurt, I can hand it to my passenger and say, hey, help the guy in the back that's bleeding. I have my first aid kit. Also, keep handy physical maps. I like the ones that are laminated. They don't show you all the roads, but at least it gives you a good idea where the hell you're going. This is the kind of stuff I keep in my vehicle on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, but if you're making trips, guys, the next few weeks are going to be super unstable. Of course, I have my little EDC pouch. And so I picked this up at, where the hell did I get this? It wasn't Camp Swift. It was Ellington Air Force Base. I was there with the Zoomies, and I picked, one of the guys had it, and I was like, that's awesome. I want one of those. By the way, the brand, for those of you, because I know someone's going to ask me, the brand is Mercury Camo in Jacksonville from Mercury Luggage. I don't know if that's going to show up backwards on the video. I actually use this for work. This is one of my EDCs, and I have a baby flashlight, a little knife, my ever-present Sharpie, a pen, a notepad, and a notepad's not a bad thing to have either, because if you're caught in a strange city and they have directions like don't go down this street because, you know, it's on fire. What's that, Brooke? I can't see Brooke's. Snow White today. So laminated maps and plastic sheets covers can be used with grease pencils. Yes, absolutely. Good point, Lucky. And by the way, if you accidentally write on a laminated map with a Sharpie and you want to get it off, just Sharpie over the Sharpie, and these and foop, 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 and it should come off, because the wet ink will remove the dry ink on a Sharpie. But yeah, absolutely good point, Lucky. You can make, you can draw with a pencil, a wax pencil, or with a dry erase, plot out your course. And also, if you get rained on, you know, the map should be intact for the most part. But right now I've already seen reports. Austin has not started nonsense yet. LA's pretty much, they're fighting in the streets already. Oil will get the marker up too. Yes. Also, Neutrogena makeup wipes. It also removes face camo. I used to send them to my son in basic, both sons. And, you know, the staff sergeant was like, well, what the hell do you have makeup wipes for? Because you ever try and wash off face camo with just regular soap, the shit don't come off. But the Neutrogenas take off women's makeup, and that is meant to stay on all day, right? So the Neutrogenas work super well on face camo. And then you smell fancy. So, you know, there's that. But double check your bug out bags. Make sure your vehicle, inspect your tires visually. If you're not mechanically inclined, that's fine. Go get an oil change and have the mechanics give it a once over, and just make sure there's nothing really you need to know about before your road trip. You can do a lot of this stuff at home, even if you're in an HOA where you can't do an oil change in your property. You can at least check. Do you keep for each vehicle? Or just... No, so Virginia, I have one in each vehicle. We only have two now. And then I have little modular ones for when I travel. So actually, if I do a road trip, I'll have one that stays in my truck. And then I have two pre-packed first aid kits with tourniquet or an Israeli bandage, because I ran out of tourniquets. And that will go in my luggage. So if I'm driving, I actually have two. And again, it's that rule, 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So, but I do leave one in each all the time. I never take them out other than to inspect them, refurbish, and then put it back. And they live there, so to say, in the car. Also, one of these guys, this is a little old school, right? Maglite. I need to get the LED bulb for this thing, but I do need to check batteries on this bad boy too. It's been here for a hot minute. But the Maglite not only is a great flashlight and waterproof, but if someone tries to get into your car, you can literally smack the shit out of them with the Maglite, because it has, you know, 2 or 3D batteries in it, and it's not light, but it's small enough that you can stick it in your pocket and drive around. Yes, Beth, if actually we and my son got stitches, and the doctor was going to throw away the surgical tools, the little pin, pliers and the needles and everything, and we asked, can we have them? So we actually gave them, and I got them at the house. I got to run them through boiling water, you know, to purify them. And I asked him, why do you guys throw it out? And this was a couple of years ago. He said, it's cheaper to buy new ones than to buy the proper machine to purify them. I said, you're kidding, that's super wasteful. He said, I know, it's silly, but we used to use boiling water and alcohol, different types of baths to reuse the tools, and for whatever reason, the insurance companies dinged them. So it was cheaper to just buy new small tools. So I'm not competent to stitch someone unless it's a real situation. My daughter can absolutely suture pretty much every mammal in existence. So her and her fiance, I'm not worried about them medically speaking. I think they're squared away. You got a vet and an oncologist. I mean, shit. Now I gotta go help them shop for a long gun.